Hello, Gambia, and welcome to another edition of the show, the Ndey Oley Taal show. With me in the studio today, I have a great Gambian lady who I am a very, very big fan of. A lot of you know her as... No, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to go for a break. When we come back, you get to meet her. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to this show. Okay, I did a very bad thing. It was a teaser because this is so amazing. I have the one and only Elektra, who is Ndey Fatu.
Yeah.
She's here, and it's funny. I never knew your name was Ndey Fatu because the Elektra is just everywhere.
Right.
And when you get to see her, you know who she is because she's the CEO of Flex Fusion Dance Academy.
Right.
You're doing so amazing. Welcome to the show, Ndey Fatu. Thanks for meeting me.
Thank you so much, Oley.
It's such a pleasure. Tell me who Elektra is. I'm going to use Elektra because it's very electrifying. It's very catchy. Tell us who Elektra is.
Well, Elektra is just a normal Gambian lady, right, that has so much passion for entertainment, especially dance, and decided to take it up as a full-time career, and also be, you know, a trailblazer that would also break the ice for Gambia to start the first dance school and company.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's totally amazing. You're doing so good. I'm sure not only me, like a whole country is proud of you.
Thank you.
Tell us how you grew up, your childhood. How was it like? Where did you grow up? What part of the Gambia were you?
I grew up at Ibo Town.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. And I have 7 siblings plus me. That's 8. And majority of my siblings, especially the ladies, they're all into performing arts, especially dance. My mom was also a dancer, so she used to have a cultural group.
No, that's a
So
no-brainer.
I was born and brought up in that environment, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah, growing up as a young lady in Ibo Town, I was trained cultural dance, you know, and I did the drums, the djembe drums, you know, the bugara, basically all the folk dance styles that we do here. And then I don't know if you want me to talk about my school.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. So I attended Talinding Primary School, then to St. Augustine's Junior Secondary School, and then to Muslim High School. And I also studied mass communication at IPAM. And after from that, the course I did was dance with the Norwegian College of Dance.
Wow.
Yes.
Where was that, in Gambia?
Yes.
Okay.
They came here in the Gambia, and then we did that course. And after that, I had the opportunity to travel to Sweden on a twinning program to go teach them about Gambian folk dance. So when I got there, I also have contacts. You know. So with those people, I was able to, you know, draft a curriculum for dance in the Gambia because we didn't have that here.
Right.
And then I came back, and yes, finally 2019, I was part of the Yali network, you know, and then I was fortunate enough to go to the US, selected as a 2019 Mandela Washington Fellow.
That's so awesome. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, you gave me goosebumps. We're going to talk more about it later on the show because I think that's really, really epic.
Right.
You did mention about obviously growing up with dance and music and sound and movement in your environment. So is this something that your family does for a living? Was your mom doing this for a living or what?
Actually, she was working at the ministry, but at the same time, like me, she had
Ministry
passion.
of
Health.
Okay, right.
Yes, she was working at the Ministry of Health, but she also had a passion for entertainment, and her goal was to empower youth through performing arts.
Oh, awesome.
So she used to have a football organization for young boys that are loitering around the street. She will bring them, you know, and get a coach to train them on football. She will also get the youths to also do dance, music, and all that.
Wow.
So in a nutshell, my family was very much involved in performing arts, and my sister, our firstborn, was Jeliba Kuyate's backing vocalist and dancer back then. Yeah, and she's really good as well.
Oh, wow. And she's still doing that still?
No, right now she's not. But I'm trying to get her to come to the school to train.
You should.
them.
Yeah. That would be nice. You know, family that work together, I think, stick together as well.
Yeah.
So being where you are right now in your life and how amazing you're doing, would you say that some of these great gifts that people have like you, do you think is something that is fostered when you're really small? Like you? You were surrounded by this. Do you think it can influence the path you took? Because you could have grown up the way you did, surrounded by the sounds and the movement, and grow up and be a doctor or something else. So how do you think it has a lot to do with this?
It does. It has a lot to do with it. But then again, you have people that are naturally gifted. Despite the fact that they're not brought up in an environment like that, they would still want to do it because they have the raw talent. So they need people to encourage them. But you did mention a very important point that I would like to elaborate on, because a lot of people feel when you are into performing arts, you are not expected to be, you know, in a different career.
Right.
I mean, you look at me today, I'm in the media. You look at me today, I'm working in international trading company. It doesn't stop you from doing anything. It's up to you to just multitask and, you know, schedule yourself in a professional way that they don't get to clash. So I can remember back then when I was going to school and I was dancing, I would have people walk up to me and say, Key, she's going to drop out school. Key, she will drop out. You know, she will not become anything in the society. She will be this, she will be that. They associate you with all the negative things. But then it's up to you to prove them wrong.
It's a misconception, because you mentioned countries that you've been to, and then you will realize that performing arts like dancing, singing, all this choreography is in a lot of schools' curriculums.
As extracurricular activities.
Yes, and it's very, very important, because for me, I think I grew up watching So You Think You Can Dance.
Right.
I used to love that show.
Right.
And you express so much emotion and send a little message through dancing. That's true, right?
That's very true. You can send a lot of messages through dancing. And just to give you a brief hint about one of the things that Flex Vision is working towards is using performing arts to also highlight and sensitize the community with regards to issues that we are facing.
Right.
You look at gender-based violence, you look at child abuse. These are topics that we don't want to discuss. Our society have, you know what I mean? So how can we spark conversations like this? When you put up a dance show or you put up a performing arts show that sends out the message, after that show, people are going to start talking about it. The conversations will start.
Through the art of movement.
Exactly. So this is all possible. I mean, there's so much you can do with performing arts. So much.
I remember one of the, like I told you, I used to follow the So You Think You Can Dance thing. And one of those performances that I never will forget is one of my favorite contestants. His name was Terrence, and he went on to do a lot of amazing things.
Right.
He did this dance with a girl that was about cancer, about breast cancer.
I remember.
Yeah, that message. It was just a dance, but it's not just a dance, because it still stuck with me. And I was a teenager. I was so young.
Right.
But I still remember the message they were trying to send just through the dance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So where you're going with this, I think it's a new way for people to understand messages without using force or violence or strikes or war or anything. You can express yourself.
These are very powerful tools they can use. It's a very powerful tool to use because, like you said, dance is the, you know, you get to communicate with people with your movements instead of, you know, verbally or any other thing. So you can send out any strong message that you want to, as long as you're ready to just put it on the stage and bring out your emotions, put your heart out there.
Yes.
That's it.
That's another thing, passion. We're going to go for our break. When we come back, we're going to have more of this amazing. I'm feeling like I want to dance already. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with an amazing Elektra. So in the first part, I think I saw somewhere that you studied entrepreneurship.
Right.
So what are you doing with that? Because you're an entrepreneur, you're doing your own thing. You're pioneering in your field and what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, what I'm doing with it is, like I said, introducing performing arts entrepreneurship first in the Gambia, especially dance entrepreneurship.
Right.
So what I do is the Flex Fusion Entertainment is a dance company. It's sort of like a management agency at the same time. So what we do is we brand dancers, build their portfolios, and also try to lobby gigs for them. So in exchange, you know, in some way, it's a business for us because the staffs are getting paid from it, the dancers are getting paid from it, and the company survives from it.
And you're getting some ka-ching too. Because you left yourself out. I'm like, wait a minute.
You're like, let me bring her in.
So we're gonna open up a bit. This is a segment of the program where we get to open a bit. I remember a few months ago, it's this year, last year, I saw that I think you lost your sister.
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
And she used to work with you.
Absolutely.
How has that been for you? It must be really, really hard.
I think I'm still dealing with it. I'm
Yeah.
still trying to get over it. It's something that you can never get over.
Yeah.
And I mean, this happened like a day before the Dance Gambia was supposed to be launched. And on that same day was the day I received the email from the embassy that I was part of those selected for the final interview.
Yeah.
So it was a mixed feeling, you know, coming back from the hospital, she's admitted, going back to the Abujan Theatre, setting up, and the next minute, 5 minutes from there, you're called, come back to the hospital, and that's the end.
Oh no.
It's hard, Ndey.
I know.
It's really hard, you know. And then looking at what I do, everything has to take a pause because I was shattered.
She was a big part of you. I
She
saw
was.
that you were really, really
We
broken.
were very close. We worked together. She was my friend. She was everything.
Because the last time I was here at work and I was watching a video by, was it Nobles or something?
Yes.
And I saw her and
Yeah.
my mind immediately went to you.
Yeah.
It must be really hard.
Yeah.
So may God, may she rest in perfect
Amen,
peace.
amen,
Our
amen.
thoughts and prayers are with you and your
Thank you.
family. I just thought I'd bring that up as a
Yeah.
respect to her.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. When I think of dance, I see you as the queen of dance in Gambia.
Hey, okay.
Yes, you are the queen of dance. In every way, in your own right, you are.
Right.
Tell me your love affair with dance. How did it start?
Okay, so one of the things that really drew me into dance, it was the one way I could express my feelings. When I was hurt, most of the time it's when I'm hurt because I can't speak up. You know, our society, sometimes people hurt you when they're elderly people, you can't face them, you can't tell them anything. So the only place that I felt home, the only place I felt I was in a total different world of my own was me and the rhythm. Everything just blacks out. It's just me and the sound in my own world. So I use dance as a therapy most of the time for me. So I fell in love with it. I mean, it's everything for me. When I'm happy, I dance. When I'm sad, I dance. It's therapy for me.
Yeah.
So I fell deeply in love with it. Yeah.
In Gambia, I think I think we're more musical
Right.
than we are into movement and dance. There's this thing that always say, oh, Gambians, when they make party, everybody just stand there and fold their hands and they just tap their legs and stuff like that, you know?
I say it all the time. Most of the time I'm pissed because if I go to Senegal and the music plays, you know, everybody just gets up and just have fun. But
And the guys,
Gambia,
they even dance more.
thank you.
They're better dancers.
Our guys will just be like, yo, wait. You know, nobody's going to enjoy
I think
themselves.
we're shy.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Then they hadn't. You dance
Somebody
first and
has
I
to start.
dance. Somebody has to start the program. You have to call them 100 times.
Somebody's
you
going to
know?
start before it happens.
Yeah. So how does movement, I think movement and dance, if like yoga, like all these things, it's all therapeutic with it. Dance, is it important to health? Like some people, I'm asking you because you're an expert in this. Some people wouldn't go to the gym. I have friends that don't go work out to the gym, but they go to dances.
Right.
They go do their, you know, their tap dancing, or they go do the, you know, like Afrofusion, or they do the Zumba and things like that to
Right.
lose weight or to
Right.
just tone up their body.
Right.
How important is dance and movement in somebody's health?
For dance is like a fitness at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's very important in someone's health. And that's why I think that part I didn't mention. Because I think I do a lot and I tend to forget a lot of things.
But you have a lot going on. I
Yes, at the
understand.
same time.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things that I do. I've been doing it for the past 3 years, coming to 4 years now at the gym. I offer Zumba classes.
Oh, yeah.
And we are also trying to use dance to conquer non-communicable diseases. So
What does that mean?
what I do most of the time, the people with this high blood, with all this stroke and all those things, I made a research and I partnered with one other Mandela Washington fellow.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she's also a medical nurse, and then we wanted to work together and see if we can bring, because he said that will definitely help them, like therapy, to use dance, movement,
Yes.
for those that have stroke or those that have high blood. So it's very important. For me, dance is the same as going to the gym to work out.
Yeah.
It's the same as any other exercise.
might even be
and mind
more
you,
effective.
It's a
'Cause
full
you
body
work it-
workout.
yeah,
you
that's what I'm
know.
saying.
So it's more effective than all the others.
We need more dance academies,
Absolutely.
you know, more
We
dance
do.
places and more people like you. So you have people that you trained,
Yes.
that you're training at the moment.
Yeah.
What do you have more, boys or girls?
I have more of girls. To your
Why do you
surprise.
think that is? Do you think it's culture in the good words of feature? Like
it has something to do with that. It does, because I can fully remember I had this encounter with one of the boys. We had an event and some of his friends were around.
Yeah.
He said he's not going to dance. I'm like, why? But you love doing this. This is what you do. You should be proud to go on stage and say, this is who I am. And he was like, no, when I go to school, they're going to bully me. They're going to say all sorts of things. So I'm like, okay, so this is really happening.
Yeah.
So it's more of a girl's thing.
You have a lot of work
society.
to do. Yeah.
Trust me, I have so much work to do. So our society just feels it's right for girls to dance, but boys more moilolo. So we're also dealing with all that.
Yeah.
So we need to use one guy to set an example.
Yeah.
I mean, our society just waits until things happen before they accept it. So you got to put it to them.
Because it's interesting, because even the Dance Gambia you did, the former edition,
right.
Congratulations on that actually. It was a big success.
Thank you.
You rolling on to do another one?
Yes.
The winners were guys?
Yes, 2 guys.
See, that's like very contradictory, isn't it?
Yeah.
How are they doing? What did they get after that? Are they doing
They're currently working with us. They got a $25,000 his cash prize, and then they got a scholarship with the school. They're currently training at the school, and they're also working with the company, and they are currently our brand ambassadors for Dance Gambia for a year. So all the media tours that we got to do for the next edition, they will be in all our promotional flyers and involved in everything. Yeah. So awesome. They're doing really good, and they are so much passionate. But when you look at them, it's a different case.
Okay.
They are mostly not like full 100% Gambian.
Okay.
One of them is Nigerian Gambian, the other is Sierra Leonean Gambian. So you can understand that those people and us, it's different.
It's different.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's what really helped them.
I was in the first edition with a friend of mine, and then I even noticed that most people that auditioned, there were lots of Gambians, but there were fewer than I
Fewer Gambians. Fewer Gambians, yes. It's mostly these Guineans, Sierra Leoneans, Nigerians, Liberians, most of those nationalities, Senegalese, but Gambians, we just have a few of them.
So what plans do you have for the next one, the 2.0, the second edition?
Well, the second
Bigger,
edition,
better.
Yes, absolutely. We are going all out. I mean, the first one I can say was more like a pilot for me, because I got to learn a lot of things along the way. Even though, you know, I have brilliant, amazing people right behind me, like my dad, Aziz Milan.
Yes.
You know, all those people gave me the expertise.
Oh, we love Uncle Aziz Milan.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
I can't wait to have him here.
You'll have a great episode.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
So all of those people supported me, and then they gave me guidance towards it. But being the first of its kind in the Gambia, it's totally different from every other event. You know what I mean? So you have to learn. But 2.0, we have bigger plans. We're looking at doing a nationwide tour after the competition, so that, you know, the entire country gets to know the winners, gets to know the performers, participants, and all that. So yeah.
Tell me more about your Mandela Fellow. You going away to the US. I saw posts of pictures of you teaching people how to dance in dance studios, and they were so into it. And I like that you brought your African culture and your Gambianism in that. I think that was a step that was
good. I'm having
goosebumps
already.
Yeah, I know. I saw it, and it was really, really nice.
Yeah.
Tell us, how were you received? How was it? How was it for you up there?
The fellowship was a life-changing experience, Ndey. I will not lie to you. I mean, going out there, being one of the 7 selected from over 350 applicants in the Gambia, and being part of the 700 young African leaders from sub-Saharan Africa to go to the US and study was great, like the best feeling ever.
I can imagine.
You know, we went there, we had 6 weeks of course, academics, and I was at the University of Texas. And then after that, normally every year when they select 700, out of the 700, 70 are selected to do professional development, more like an internship program in the US. So they take you to a company or an organization that does exactly what you do. So I was fortunate enough to be taken to the Youth Ensemble of Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, just the black community was...
Atlanta is awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome, and I worked with so many black African-American youths.
I'm sure they took you as a sister.
Oh my God, I so felt at home. When I got there, I'm like, okay, this is not Texas, so nobody is looking at me in a weird way. Like, yo.
The southern look.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, this is home. I'm like, okay, cool. It was a great experience. I learned a lot of things. I learned transferable skills from that institute. I mean, you got to see the difference
dance makes.
Yes, in their community. They use dance to, address issues like gun violence.
Yeah, the drugs.
Exactly.
All these things, yeah.
And when they put up the shows, the turnouts are great. People get the message, they go with it. And you look at the kids, most of them are like 3, 4,
wow.
and they're starting at that age. I'm like, what are we doing? And if you notice, when I came back, before I left, my institute was just a dance academy.
Right.
So when I went, she was like, my supervisor told me, she said, there's something you need to know. There are 3 elements that cannot work without the other. I was like,
Okay.
She's like, music, dance, theater.
Yeah.
She said all these 3 elements are intertwined. So what you need to do is when you go, incorporate them in your lesson. So when I got back, that was the first thing. I found a music teacher, made sure I got a drama teacher, and just incorporated it. Because she was like, there are certain plays you want to do to address issues. You're going to need acting skills. You're going to need musical in it.
Yeah.
So you need to also prepare them. So that's what I did. She's amazing. And then they set me up very well.
Right.
And hopefully they will come in here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, they will be coming.
To do a follow-up on how far you've gone and what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you. You're doing so amazing.
Thank you
is so cool.
so much.
We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we'll have more of Elektra. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with the beautiful Elektra. We're at this juncture of the program that I call to inspire.
Right.
And this part is especially very important to me because we have a lot of great Gambians, we have a lot of great people. And for me, I am all for celebrating people and their achievements and the things they've gone through. We all need to learn from each other. You ñëpp dañu war a jàng from each other. Ku nekk am nga looy dem through or loo dem through loo xam ne keneen jaaru fa wala jaaragu fa. And then it's just through these platforms and stuff that you can learn and teach, as an extension of yourself to people that follow you and your friends. The life lessons is what I wanted to ask you. What have you learned along the way being a Gambian woman, choosing this platform to be who you are? What life lessons have you learned? Like, actually, because you mentioned in the beginning, misconception of people feeling like this is not a professional or it's something that you can make something out of.
Yes.
You're doing amazing things with it. What are the life lessons you've learned now that you are here? And I know you have a long way to go.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I learned was I need to be confident and be very responsible. Like when you have people that are judging you wrong, depending on the career you choose, the first thing you need to do is, sit back, revisit everything that you want to do, and then also plan. I mean, set your goals straight. So what I did was, when I saw that things were going south and people were expecting me, I made sure that I was confident about what I do and also try to prove them wrong, because at the end of the day, they're just waiting for that downfall to happen. And if you're not focused, you'll be easily distracted, especially as a woman in this field.
Yeah.
You'll be easily distracted and you also have to be very careful, the people in your circle. You need to be very careful with and selective of your friends, because it's not everybody that's around you that is ready to really support what you are up to. And looking at our society, a lot of people are not, I'm sorry to say, we are not real and honest to ourselves, and people pretend a lot. So with me, I've encountered so many things like that. People I thought that were there to support me, not knowing those were the ones that are really going to stab me at the back, and say all sorts of things. But then when those things happen as well, you don't want to focus on what they did to you. Because it's going to distract you from
water under the bridge, just fly over it.
Thank you.
Yeah, just move.
Because otherwise it will distract you from what you wanted to do.
Of course.
So I've learned so many life lessons today. It's been tough.
Yeah.
You know, so many obstacles from loved ones, people you feel, you know, that you love them, that they're going to be there for you. I mean, it's a tough journey.
Yeah.
It's a really tough journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel what you mean.
Yeah.
And also, I think in our culture, there's one thing that I just want to bring up, because sometimes people feel there's a bit of looseness or promiscuity when it comes to dancing. There are certain careers that people link with being cheap or bad stuff, when maybe you're not even with fashion and modeling, people see it as you being like, you know, a flop.
Yep.
Which is not like, how do you see, do you encounter challenges like this, being a female and being a dancer?
Well, that's what I meant, because I've encountered all those challenges. And when you are in this field, you tend to meet a lot of guys, especially men, that will want to take advantage of you. And like you said, they will also have that in mindset that, okay, she's in this field, so this is what's going to happen. But then it's up to you to stand your ground. It's up to you to tell them that this is my profession. You should respect me. It doesn't mean that you can exploit me or you can do anything with me. So it's up to you to set the record straight. So, and that's what I've been doing. Like, people will even look at me and say, hey, Kibom Kanama made a approach. I wouldn't approach her.
She's iron, she's tough.
Yeah.
But you need to be, sometimes you need to be that.
If you are not, trust me, nobody's going to respect you, and they will all keep coming at you. And, you know, people lie as well.
Yeah.
So if you encourage them, moi lolo.
Yeah, you close the doors.
You close it. So when they're coming, they know that this one is a businesswoman and she's serious. Okay.
She means business.
That's it.
Elektra means business. So trials and, of course, the hurdles that comes along with these things. Has it been easier for you in Gambia, like for example, the welcome and the encouragement and the mentorship and everything you had when you were in the US? Would you say you would have the same from your people here?
Nope. No. I mean, in the US, this is something that is very important. You look at most of the richest people in the US, majority of them are from the entertainment industry.
True.
So they don't even joke about it. You know, so you have a lot of people.
It's your ticket to life. It's the ticket.
Right, right. So you have a lot of people that will just walk up to you and want to mentor you. They want to support you. People will just walk up to you, want to just hear you pitch your business idea, and they want to invest in it.
That's true.
Nobody will invest in a dance company in the Gambia. I've gone to so many places. Even to sponsor a show, they will not. Talk less.
What do you think the problem is?
I think the problem is Gambia, we're yet to have an entertainment industry. That's the honest truth. We call it a scene because it's so small. It's not well structured. You go to our government institute, I mean, mostly the National Center for Arts and Culture, the Minister for Tourism and Culture is much more focused on tourism and forgetting that entertainment is one of the elements that will also draw tourists to the Gambia.
That's true.
So they are not focused on us, and they've not set an industry for us yet.
Okay.
I mean, we don't even have an annual budget for entertainment from the government. So
this is where you guys come in.
Right.
Though. What are you guys doing as well towards
this
this?
is where we come in. But
it takes the both. It takes you guys and it takes them.
But the funny thing is sometimes you want to do your stuff and you go to the government. You know, most of the paperwork, you definitely have to go to them. And it will be very hard. Some of them will literally block you from doing it. So it's really hard for entertainers to make it happen because we have so many challenges up there. But so we are trying at the grassroots, you know. I mean, I was in the US and my supervisor was just lining out the number of grants and funds and the budget for entertainment. I'm like,
yeah.
Where is Gambia?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, so.
It's small, we're getting there. Obviously, we can't be unrealistic as well. We can't compare the US and the Gambia, but we have to stand somewhere.
Not at all.
A lot of people that are the old generation, they always emphasize on how Gambia used to be an entertainment hub back in the 50s, the 60s, that if you want to party in West Africa, Gambia was the place to be. Yeah. We had the most handsome gentlemen, the prettiest women, and we had the nicest, fanciest clubs for people to go to, you know. I even used to tell my dad and sometimes with my mom, where is the entertainment spot for people like you, like the older generation? Where
Right.
can you go and relax and
they
do
don't
your
have a
pachanga
spot.
and your dance and just
They don't.
have fun and remember the good old days and
They
stuff? Where do
don't.
you go? They don't even have a place to go. Maybe you should do a dance academy where, you know, those
For-
kind of
for
folk can
elderly
come
people.
and meet and hang out. And, you know, it's important. They
yeah,
need that kind of
yeah.
stuff. You can't just be like old retired, stay at home and just wait to die or something bad to
Absolutely,
happen to you.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
just a minute, with regards to entertainment, I think one of the problems we also have is originality when it comes to the music industry. That we lack. You know, some artists are trying, you know, to have that originality. I mean, you look back in the days of Musa Ngom, you know, the Gelawar, the Ifam Bondi.
Yeah.
Those were songs that when you play, you know that yes, this is from Gambia.
They still
it's from
sound
West.
good.
Thank
They still
you.
sound good.
So, but if you look at the younger generation right now, they're all about, you can't copy America and think you'll be better than them.
And Nigeria, even.
It's theirs. They
Yeah.
own it. That's
Yeah.
their original stuff.
true.
You know what I mean? So one of the things that can put us out there in the map and push our entertainment forward is the people out there, you know, getting to ask questions, whose song is this? Where does this come
Where does
from?
that beat come from? Yeah.
Thank you. It's something different that they've never
It's like
heard.
when you hear the Afro beat, you know it's Nigeria. And it sounds so good. You'll be in Europe in the most exclusive clubs.
Right.
And you hear these songs. I remember the first time I heard Afrobeat in London in a very exclusive club. I was so proud. I'm like, oh my God, that is P Square. They're like, because even though it's not Gambian,
But
I was
just being
connected because it's
African.
African.
Yes.
So I think the misconception that our artists have as well is that we think that our sounds are not sellable or marketable. I
Right.
think they can go far. If
Right.
if a British or Spanish or something or Chinese could be somewhere and digging, enjoying P Square or Wizkid or something like that. They don't even know the language. They don't
Right.
even know what he's saying.
Yeah.
But it's the beat and the rhythm that travels. I think we
Absolutely.
have a long way to go when it comes to that as well.
Yeah, and I can remember having a debate with someone, and the person was like, Afrobeat is African. When you say Afro means everybody can use it in
No,
Africa.
but our beats are different.
It already has a signature. Like when you hear it, your mind only goes to one or two spots. It's either Nigeria or Ghana.
Ghana, yeah.
So even though it's African, but try to come up
We
with
have the
something that's
bukarabo, we have the tama and
all
those
those
things.
instruments can be
The
used
kora,
to create something.
They're
yeah,
very distinct.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
different.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's good. So, Elektra, inspiring in your own way. There's so many ways that you are inspiring, of course.
Right.
You're an amazing Gambian woman. You're doing fantastic. Apart from the dancing scene and your academy, how else do you inspire in your own way? Because I remember even when we scheduled the meeting, you were out touring.
Yes.
You were way out, you know,
Yes,
Greater
yes.
Banjul area touring. What was that about? And I know that must have been inspirational
Right.
in your own way somehow.
Right. So one of the things I also do through dance,
You do it all, don't you?
I try. So, okay, I was touring because I partnered with Special Olympics. Inclusion means a lot to me.
Okay.
And looking at our society, I feel people with intellectual disability, you know, are always
Segregated, yeah.
segregated and isolated, you
Yeah,
know what
that's
I mean? So I thought of, okay, why not come up with a project that I can bring, you know, people with special needs and, you know, the normal
that's
together to promote a unified society. So that was what I was working on. And then I had one of the youth leaders that went to Kenya in the summit to represent us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, it was really great. And so now what I do is I use her to, you know, when we go to different schools and then we talk to the children during assembly. She talks about unified, she talks about inclusion, she talks about everything that we can do together to help each other, uplift each other instead of just leaving them. But aside from that, I also have my own foundation and my focus is on orphans, you know, because I see our SOS village, they're doing a great job. They've been trying, they've been doing so many things. But I came across, this whole thing came about because one of the dancers I have is actually living at the youth village. Yeah, he was part of the competition, but I didn't know. So what happened was there was a day from rehearsal, I was just going home. I'm like, 4 days. He just told me, you know, around the SOS, but he didn't tell me he was in the village.
Yeah.
So when I dropped him, he said, Fila, I just had goosebumps. Like, I'm like, no. So I went home that night, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, I need to do something, you know, for the orphans in the country. So I started my own foundation.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the orphans as well. Yeah.
This is so nice. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, this is why this is important to me, because this is stuff that people wouldn't know about. They would think you're all about dancing, which is great as well. But there's so many things that you were doing. Before we go on that break, I would just like to ask. You have this persona of being really like tough, like iron. Like, okay, for me, a lot of people think I am nice, but they think I'm very strict.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh,
why.
that's true.
You think?
True. I could tell.
Really? That's not true. A lot of people think that, oh, Oley is friendly, she's nice, but I think she's very strict. You have this persona, but sitting down, talking to you today and all these things, there's this soft spot that you have that I never would have guessed. How do you conceal it so much?
Well, I can remember someone someone once told me, said, this is someone very close to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, you really have a soft heart. I'm like, why? But you act tough on the outside.
Yeah.
But in the inside, you're like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's society that just made me become like that.
Yeah.
You know, because with everything I have to deal with, I just had, to shield myself and be very tough to face everything that I was ready to go through. So.
And it works.
It did.
It's working.
It did.
We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we go to the last segment. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show, and I'm still here with Elektra. I'm gonna take you back to, was it 2015? I remember when I first met you.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, you were different. I remember it was the Goody Gambia Taal that Social Security organized with the Au Pair project, and I was the Goodwill ambassador.
Yeah.
And there was lots of girls there. But you stood out, you were different. I remember having a conversation with you, and you told me you were an actress.
Yes.
That you were actually on a movie set at that moment, because you go to your movie for your casting, your shooting, and you come here for your modeling stuff and all that. How is that? Are you still in the movies, in acting?
I wouldn't say I'm still in the movies in acting. Well, my attention kind of shifted a bit.
Yeah.
Because
a lot.
Because my focus was, on my goals. Yeah. And, I was like, our movie industry wasn't ready yet. Even though they're still trying, they're really trying. It's tough, but we were not there. Okay. So after doing that movie with Efe Omo Igori, I just took a back seat with movies and focused on my projects and the institute that I wanted to work on. But I'm still in the acting business, because sometimes we perform at the Abujan Theatre when Mrs. Janet Bajan have plays. He does call us, and then we'll dance.
That's like the Broadway of Gambia.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Broadway of Gambia. Oh, that's a good
Gambian Broadway.
Yeah. So I do perform with her from time to time, because most of her her plays do have dance scenes. So we sometimes perform with them. Yeah. Okay.
This last segment is where we get a bit personal.
Right.
You are a young woman in Gambia right now. We're at a very crucial time where there's lots of things happening, amazing things, a lot of transitional things in different aspects of our lives.
Right.
And the youth of the country, I think, are so determined right now, more than ever. I don't think there's been a time where we have been even more motivated to do good and to do well. As a young woman, as a youth of the moment, even, because there's so many people looking up to you, if you were to advise your fellow youths and young women and men of the Gambia on ways that they can join hands together to make the country even greater, because it's for us. At the end of the day, it's going to be left to us for us to live to other people.
Exactly.
What strong message would you give them?
Well, I'll just advise them to come together. You know, Oley, it's sad that, you know, things are happening this way, and sometimes we are divided by our leaders and all that, but then we need to take a step back.
As kids.
Yes, we need to take a step back and, you know, study the whole situation and put the country's best interest at heart.
Yes.
You know, it's not about, I know him, he's my uncle, or he's my dad, or he's my cousin, or he's this. You know, it's not based on, Gambia just need to focus on what's best for Gambia in general, not what's best for Ndey or Ndey Oley. It's what's best for the country. In general, and remember, at the end of the day, we are all going to be parents someday, and we want our kids to benefit. We want our kids to come to a new Gambia, you know what I mean? So it's our responsibility as youths of today to make that change. And the only way we can make it is, you know, coming together as one and then fighting for the best thing that can happen for the country. But at the end of the day, I don't advise them to you know, use violence for anything, because that doesn't help the situation. Instead, it worsens it. So let us have a dialogue as youths, you know, talk about these things, you know, come together. I mean, I'm really happy that one of our Mandela Washington Fellows have already launched the debate, the debate for the first time in the country. So we have a platform now to pose our questions to all these leaders that say they have the best interests of the country at heart. So let's go out there, meet them, have a dialogue with them, pose our questions, analyze everything, and come together as youths and make it a better country.
With that, where do you even start to even do that? How do you start it? Where do you think you can start with it? Do you think that, for example, given that you in your dancing academy and your use of movement, I am in my own media world and in the fashion world, and somebody else is there doing their catering, another person is a doctor, do you not think it would be nice or wise if something was organized as young people from different fields to come and show that we have a potential, we have a future, and you have loads of great and amazing leaders waiting to just flourish and do so many amazing things. Because I think sometimes as well, in our society, we focus a lot on magi, you know, and then halenga, you remain a kid. Well, hale mo de mak.
That's our problem.
You know?
We feel we're too young to lead.
Yes.
And we're not too young to lead.
Yeah.
You know, if we have people that are potential, you know, they have the qualifications, they can do it, we should support them to do it. Like you said, it's important to just organize something that everybody should come together. I believe, like you mentioned, everybody in their own world, we can use those as powerful tools.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, you have a great platform. It's in the media is powerful. You know, if you have 5 Ndey Oleys that are in the media, what else are we going to do? We can easily reach out to all the youths and say, this is happening, everybody should come. And then when we come, we can also discuss other things that we can iron out. Like you said, the doctors can come up because they're already in the field. They know what we lack in the system. They know what we should do. We can come up with solutions. Those that are in the other fields can also come up with. But it has to start from somewhere, and that is bringing all the youths together. That togetherness has to be there for us.
Reaching out to each other. And the blessing is it's a small country. We all know each other. So I know how to reach you. You know how to reach out to me. It's not a big deal.
Exactly.
With everything that you're doing, obviously you have a long way to go. I'm sure you're going to do amazing. You're just going to blow out, inshallah. You know, we pray that we witness it. I mean, do you sometimes need the government or the people's help to be able to push you to do what you need? If you were to, you're not solicited for help. This is not where I'm going. Right. What I'm trying to say is, if there was anything anybody could do to make what you're doing easier, what would that be?
Okay, one thing I believe is you can never do anything on your own. Okay, you can have your goals, you can work towards them, but you definitely need a support system at some point. I can remember, I mean, Fatima was one of the people that I went to when I just wrote, she was one of the people that helped me.
She brought me to your program.
Even write my business plan, you know. I mean, I've been to so many people. So these are people on the sidelines that even you or any other person don't even know they've contributed to my success.
No.
So at some point you need people to help you. You need the support of everyone. And the government, of course, everybody needs the government to support, because without them it will be so hard for you to implement anything you want. Because today, why do you think we have the name Dance Gambia instead of Gambia Dance Championship?
Yeah.
Because when you put Gambia Dance Championship, the government is going to come to you, change your name. You cannot use Gambia. You know what I mean? So
Is that fair?
They said it's in the Constitution. So
Okay.
you have to literally go to KMC and reserve the name. You know, they have to write to the president for approval before you can use Gambia,
Right.
according to
Okay,
them.
yeah.
So these are all things that we face. So we need everybody's support. Whatever an individual is doing, he or she needs support.
Absolutely.
And it's up to the people to come out and support them, encourage them, motivate them to keep striving. Yeah.
Yeah. This has been so amazing having you here doing this show, and I'm not disappointed at all. It went so good. Okay, yeah, of course. I know you don't talk a lot, but I got to drag you out here and get you talking. So what message would you leave for my audience, for the show, leaving your mark in this studio today? What would you leave with me?
Right. Before I do that, I'm just going to talk about someone that was very dear to me, very close to my heart. She was my best friend.
Oh.
She was my support system. She's been through me, you know, she's been with me thick and thin. We've done things together. She's supported my goals. And I lost her like just last month, October.
Oh.
Yeah, so, and she's been my everything. I lost her to asthma.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, thank you. So why I'm bringing this up is, I mean, she has motivated me so much to become what I am today. And it was so hard being in that hospital and seeing that the entire hospital has just one nebulizing machine for asthmatic patients. And you come in and you see asthmatic patients with attack, they will have to be in a queue to wait for one another, just for that machine. I'm saying this because I hope anybody that's watching your show can just go to any hospital if they can donate, you know, nebulizing machines and save lives.
Oh my God.
I just had to, because it was heart-wrenching to just see little children with asthma, see adults struggle on the queue, waiting for that one person on the machine to reach them. It was crazy. But thank you so much for having me here.
Okay.
You don't cry.
Thank you so much. It made me feel so sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's okay. I've been crying. So
sorry,
it's fine.
I'm a bit baby sometimes.
No,
I'm
it's
too
okay.
super
It's
emotional.
all right to be emotional. It's fine. I mean, I'm just saying it. I'm sure you are trying to imagine everything in your head.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So, but thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome,
and
of course. Anytime.
I really enjoyed having this interview. For the first time, I'm calm and, you know.
I'm glad.
Yes. But for your viewers, I'll just encourage them to keep watching your show.
Thank you.
Because the people you bring on your show are really inspiring, you know. And then I think your viewers will learn a lot from everybody's stories.
Yes.
You know, and their
That's
personalities.
the aim.
Exactly. So we really can thank you enough for coming up with such an initiative that can also empower youths that are back home. So you are also playing a very big role.
I hope so.
You are. It's a very big thing that you're doing. I can be at home and watch one of your shows and be inspired, or even spark a business idea from it.
Right.
You never know.
That's true.
So yeah, for your viewers, let them watch out for Flex Fusion Dance Academy and Entertainment. And let them feel free to join us. You know, they can find us on social media everywhere. They can come, you know, for classes or Zumba or whatever. We're there, you know, to work. It's business.
You have a big following. I'm sure you're gonna have a big lineup out there, adding to what you already have.
Yes.
It's been such a pleasure having you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And we can't wait to see just you doing more amazing, bigger things.
Thank you.
So keep us updated, and we wishing you
keep
all the
inspiring
best.
us as well.
I'll try.
Because I was one of the people she inspired, actually. I can remember in 2015, I really wanted to be Oley Taal. Oh, her composure. Oh, look at her. She's smart. She's this.
Oh, thank you.
She's hardworking.
Thank you. I try. Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for watching as well, you guys at home. Until next week, have a good day. Bye-bye. Take care.